As Ian said, this is a great day for our women's basketball program. We're really excited to officially launch the Coach Katie Gearlds era here at Purdue. Appreciate everything that Coach Forsop has done over the years, and appreciate everything that she's provided to this program. And as she made very clear a week or two ago, whenever I've lost track of time, that just a phone call away at all times. So that'll be a nice opportunity for Katie to be able to rely on the experience and perspective that Coach Forsop has accumulated over the years. But that being said, while this isn't the exact timeline that we had envisioned when we announced this transition plan, here we are today. And as I told Katie some time ago now, the fact that she gets a chance to begin to build her culture, her concept of team in and around our program, I think is a really positive thing. We're excited to get that rolling. The energy in the gym is terrific. I think the recruiting response has been really positive. So lots of good things ahead. And I know this. Katie's background as a coach is unquestioned. All you have to do is look at the incredible success that she experienced at Marion. And as we knew when we brought her back into the program here, that doesn't happen without great skill, without great expertise, without great knowledge of the game, and an ability to connect with today's athletes. And I think that, as much as anything, is what excites me as we go forward here. So looking forward to lots of great days ahead, and today is the start of it. So thank you all for being with us, and wish Katie the very best as we work down the road.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I am, first of all, thank you to Mike, to Nancy, and really Coach Forsop for giving me a call back in March for the opportunity. I'm excited. I don't think I've ever been so nervous right now. I don't get nervous, and that's weird. But no, I'm excited, and I'm grateful for the opportunity, one that I'm going to grab by the horns and run with. Back in March, I sat down with Coach, and it was basically, hey, I need a year. I've got a year. I want a year to mentor you, get you ready to be in the big chair. And she got it done in 6 months. We sat and talked, and that was it. I was ready. She was ready for the next phase of her life, and she knew that I was ready. We thought it would take a year, but lo and behold, she's taught me in the last 15 years. I've learned from Christy Curry, from Brian Agler, from all the coaches I've ever played for, and I'm a student of the game. I love to study it, so I know that all of those guys are a phone call away from me, and special thanks to Coach for believing in me and giving me this opportunity.
Take questions from the media.
Katie, just once this was all, the transition was made, what was kind of like your number one priority that you wanted to get done? And have you done that? And just kind of how far are you getting down your list right now?
It's a long list, Mike. You're talking about here in the last week or so. Honestly, it's me connecting with the players as a head coach now. I think that's the biggest thing, and understanding that I'm in charge, right? But not just me. It's Beth and Michael, Alex, Christine, Jalen, Carmel, our GAs there. They've been tremendous for me, supporting me, believing in me, and then it goes down to our players. 1 through 15. This summer, I felt like they really grabbed onto me. It wasn't that long ago that I was here. At least that's what I tell myself in my mind every day. So I can relate to them a little bit, speak their language, try to have the cooler shoes than they do. But, that was it. That was number one, just connecting with them on a different level. I thought really I had 6 months to do that. But, like I said, Coach thought I was ready, and so do I. I honestly believe 8 years ago when I took the job at Marion, I thought I was going to be playing basketball another year. And when I interviewed for the job and Steve Downing offered it to me, I thought that was God's time God was telling me, it's time to hang up your shoes. You were born to be a coach. And I think I was born to be in this chair in Mackey Arena.
When the announcement was made in the spring that you were coming along as the associate head coach, your emphasis this year was going to be recruiting. Now that you have to coach this team as well, yeah. What will be the balance for you in trying to still recruit at the level that you want, but also obviously take care of
right.
coaching this team?
I don't think anything changes for me really. I want to be a head coach that gets out and recruits. It's what I had to do at Marion, so it's really all I know. The fact that Alex and Beth and Michael get to go out for me is kind of a different experience. For me, I actually have somebody else who's going to get out there and watch, and they've been great for me. They've connected me with people across the country. I have my own connections that I brought to the table as well, and so for me, it's I'm 36. And I'll find a way to sleep when I need it, but other than that, I'm going to grind every day. The biggest thing for us is we want to work hard. We want to work hard on the court. We want to work hard in the office. And I said it before, but we want to make Purdue proud.
Obviously, that Sharon had started putting this team together and implementing things, but now that you've taken over, what things can you implement at this late notice, or is this going to maybe be a season-long thing to put kind of your imprint of what you want this team to look like and how you want it to play this season?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to take some time. I think it's a process, but enjoying the process and then finding the outcome that's what makes the process so great. We were able to do some things this summer. Coach and I collaborated quite a bit in putting in some things this summer, and now it's just a little bit more detail-oriented. We've got 44 days before we have a game, and that's not lost on any of us. We know we have a long way to go, but the biggest thing for us is we talk in the office every day. It's let's not be average at a lot of things. Let's be really good at a couple things, and then just progress as the season goes on. We talk about it. Don't just get good enough. Let's be great, because good enough is not normally enough. And we've got to be great at some things. We've got great pieces, got great kids. They work hard. I think they've bought into what we're trying to do. And Wednesday, we're ready to go. It's pedal to the metal. All gas, no brake, and we're going to work our tails off.
What will your team look like, or what do you want it to look like once you get going this season?
I told this the first meeting I had with the team the Friday after Coach retired. It was the biggest thing is I want to have a team that's hard to beat. That's the message that Steve Downing taught me at Marion. Compete every day, whether it's in the classroom, in the weight room, but definitely on the court, being hard to beat. If you're hard to beat, if you compete every possession, I'm a firm believer that the basketball gods are going to take care of everything if you do things the right way. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do things the right way. The girls have bought into the culture that we're trying to establish here and being hard to beat. When you're hard to beat, you win games at home. You've got Mackey Arena, you've got the fans behind you. You win those games at home. You win the games you're supposed to on the road. And then, when you're hard to beat, you might steal one on the road that maybe you weren't supposed to get. And I think that's the biggest thing we want to do is we want to make sure every time we step on the floor, the opponent is thinking, man, we got to play Purdue. God, they play hard. And that's the thing we have to instill right now. And so far, I think 1 through 15, they've all bought in.
Mike, what have you seen out of Katie these last couple of weeks that kind of reaffirms the decision you made last spring, but also gives you confidence that things are going to push forward?
Well, after she started to breathe again, it was it's been all good since then. Honestly, what I've seen in the last couple of weeks is exactly what we thought we were bringing back to campus back in the springtime. Is a confident coach, someone who feels really good about their knowledge and approach to the game. As she laid out, I think as a players first, a relationship first. That's how you build a great team. It's through connections. It's through getting to know our players at different levels, and so that there's a shared commitment to what we're trying to accomplish. And I've seen all of that begin to happen day by day here, and that's it's exactly as I had hoped it would be. And as Coach mentioned, it's a process. Nothing changes. You don't flip any switch overnight. In a sport as competitive as women's basketball or any sport that we compete in. But as long as you're working positively every single day, layering one good day on top of another, making progress each day, really good things can happen. And that's what I see us beginning to do, and look forward to that continuing throughout the preseason. And then once we get on the court, start playing.
Coach, I know you talked about the importance of recruiting at Marion, but what were kind of the other big takeaways you learned in that previous stint?
how to close games. My first year we went 16-16. The next year we go 27-6. Third year we win a national championship. I think that was the biggest thing for me, is I just learned how to close games as a coach. I learned how to teach. At the time, I thought that everybody thought the way I thought. I think that was a fair assessment. I thought everybody saw the game through my eyes, but I had a great staff there. From Vicky, Lakin, Jenna, Mark, Amy, everybody that had worked on my staff over the last 8 years. They've all done a good job of helping me understand that, Katie, not everybody thinks the way you do. You've got to really explain it to them. And, that's what I hope to do now. I'll probably do a little bit things differently than Coach Versip did. I probably speak different language. Different words are used for different things, but they all mean the same. So just getting everybody on that same lingo and buying into what we're doing. But that was it. It's learning how to teach the game and get kids to really understand how to play, as opposed to just playing scripted basketball every time down the court. I want to be able to open the floor and rely on our individual talents, but also play within the team and the ball moves. You watch San Antonio Spurs, you watch, some European basketball where the ball just pops and moves from side to side, and that's what we're looking to do.
With some of the kind of movement in the roster over the summer, transfers in and out of the program, how have you seen the team start to kind of cohere and come together in the offseason and as you approach practice?
I think the biggest thing is how hard we work every day. I'm excited for Wednesday and get to go for more than an hour at a time, but in the hour that we've been able every day, they brought energy. It's like they actually enjoy being on a basketball court, and that's the biggest thing. When you can enjoy coming to work every day, like they say, you'll never work a day in your life, and that's what we want. We want to have that kind of environment. We want to have fun and enjoy the game of basketball. We've got 15 girls on our team, and I can imagine there's a lot of women across the country that would love to be in their chairs, and we've got to understand that wearing those 6 letters of Purdue across your chest, it means something, and like I said, we're just going to try to make Purdue proud.
Mike, let me start with you. Sure. Knowing how competitive she is, how do you help her keep an even keel so she doesn't pound her head too often with her clipboard?
That's if I had figured that one out, Tim, I'd be I would have bottled it and sold it a long time ago. Every coach is a little different. You have to understand where their stresses are, and Katie, as Katie and I have gotten to begin to get to know each other well, I've told her throughout, if anything is bothering you, if anything's in your craw, please just come on in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk it through. Know that we're here to be as supportive as we possibly can be. That we want this program and the young ladies in it to have every possible success this year and the years ahead. And then it's my job, it's our job, it's all of our jobs here in the athletic program to help all of our programs achieve that level of success, and supporting our coaches as well as our student athletes is what we do every day. So again, but Katie knows that the door is always open, and while I may not always have the answer, I'm certainly willing to listen and do the best I can to be helpful.
Katie, I've heard you say a few times you felt like you were born to coach. What is it about your DNA? And when did you realize that you thought you had that ability?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't when I was here playing. I know that. I never thought I'd be a coach when I was playing. I knew I wanted to play forever. And then all of a sudden when I was playing in Europe, I got the inkling, like the itch to, I think I actually know what I'm doing here and figuring it out. And I remember one game specifically, I was playing in the WNBA, and Sue Bird came over, and I didn't, I was a shooter. I did my job. I went in, I shot, I came out on the bench, and I cheered Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson on and Swin Cash. I cheered those guys on as hard as I could. And I got paid doing it. That was beautiful. But Sue came over, and she asked me, hey, what do you see? And I was like, oh, my goodness, here's, the actual GOAT, the greatest point guard to play, and she's asking me what I see. I thought that was pretty big time. And I think that's probably when it really sunk in that I think I know what I'm doing. And then I said I was getting ready to sign a contract to go to the Ukraine to play. The job came open in Marion. I thought, let's go through the process. Let's see what happens. Maybe I get the job. Never thought he'd hire me. I never coached before. And an IU guy hires a Purdue graduate, and he gives me a chance. I know Christy Curry made Steve Downing a call, and Sharon Versip made Steve Downing a call, and they gave me an opportunity, and it worked out pretty well. I think beyond coaching and beyond winning, every coach wants the opportunity to impact young women's lives. and to be at such a critical stage in these women's lives from 18 to 22, really trying to figure out who they are and what they want to do with their lives. That's something I know that I was born to do.
This is more of a short term, but this year's going to be different than last year because we'll have fans back in the stands. But we don't know if we're going to go back to what we consider normal, maskless on the sideline. What did you learn last year having to communicate during a game through a mask and the things that you had to go through to get through the season?
Well, the biggest thing I learned is that my team can't hear me. We actually at Marion, we played 34 games last year. We did, we were in masks, of course, but no restrictions to fans or anything like that at the NAI level. So we were very fortunate to handle that. And for me, it's just, sliding the mask down at the appropriate time so they can actually read my lips. But I was fortunate I had a very loud assistant, so hopefully Michael, Beth, and Alex can do that for me as well, because I know the Purdue faithful are ready to be back in Mackey, and we can't wait to have them there. It gets super, super loud in Mackey, and it's the best place to play in the country, best place to play in the Big Ten for sure, and I'd put money on it. That's the best place to play in the country.
Well, I know at least one of the three assistants is pretty loud, but we'll let them decide who's which. What's your message to the fans then? Maybe the fans that have gotten away from women's basketball in the last couple of years, to get them back on the wagon?
I think the biggest thing is, for us, just getting back to normalcy as a country, getting into Mackey and seeing, good quality basketball. But my message to them is just, you're going to love to watch this team compete. We're hoping to play a brand of style basketball that's entertaining to watch and fun to play. And with that comes great energy in Mackey. These girls, we're going to get out the floor and run. Got to get ourselves in shape, probably a little bit better than we are right now, but we've got 44 days to do that. And, hopefully we play up-tempo, just an exciting brand of basketball that's fun to watch, that you won't want to leave your seats when the game is going on.
Kind of break down the roster of what you've seen so far in the last 3 or 4 months, and how these pieces have the potential to come together for what you want to do and how you want to play.
Yeah, we've got a really good group, and the best thing is in those 44 days, everybody has the opportunity to really show me what they can do, show us what they can do. But we've got point guards that can run the floor in different ways. We've got scoring point guards, we've got facilitators, we've got wings who can get out and go in transition and score the ball. We got a dominant big inside, and we're tooling with, do we play small? Do we play big? Do we have multiple different lineups where we can really adjust, and not just adjust to the way teams are playing us, but make them adjust to the way we want to play.
Just where does kind of Madison Layden fit in your picture?
Madison,
both this season and maybe long term.
Yeah, well, Madison's a really good basketball player, and the biggest thing we need for her right now is to just kind of step out of her comfort zone, and just be a little bit more of a vocal leader. She's going to be somebody who leads by example. She's going to work her tail off, but we have to do a good job as a unit of making sure we put her in the best position to make her successful. Same thing with Shay, same thing with Brooke, same thing with JT, same thing with Abby, same thing with all of our kids 1 through 15. We've got to put them in position to be successful. And Madison, basketball's not equal opportunity. Sometimes, people should get more shots than others. And, Madison's in that boat where she should get the ball, and when she's shooting it, I like our chances.
With the transfer point guard, Abby, what have you seen out of her, and what kind of skill set does she bring that you can utilize the best for this season?
I think the biggest thing that she's going to give us is something different than what we've had in the past here the last few years. Abby's full of energy. She brings it every single day. She can score the ball from the outside, and she's kind of crafty in that European, Australian style of player in the paint. We've got to get her to learn, because she's so full of energy that she runs a lot. I mean, she wants to push the tempo, which is great, but we've got to get everybody else running the sideline with her. So just understanding pace and when to push it. But we've got a scoring point guard who can actually score the basketball. But on top of that, she understands who she has running the wings and who she has inside, that, I'm going to do whatever I take. That's the best thing about Abby. She just wants to win. I think we have collectively a group that they just are all about winning right now. And we're going to play with a chip on our shoulder. I mean, why wouldn't we? We're the underdog. We are where we are, and if we can do that, I like our chances. Yeah, I wasn't very good. Thanks,
you all.
guys.
Appreciate it.